तबो कथामृता तप्त जीवना कविभिरीरिता कल्मषापहा तबो कथामृता तप्त जीवना कविभिरीरिता कल्मषापहा.
Hare Krishna. So today we'll discuss about Bhagavad Gita. The background of Bhagavad Gita in relation to Krishna's pastimes. Let me see where I should begin, because Mahabharata is so vast. Pandavas were sent to exile. In a deceitful game of dice, Duryodhana, yes, the other day we discussed about Duryodhana's envy, seeing the opulence of Indraprastha, the Pandavas' capital. And plus he was very much humiliated. Like he was angry for some reason. And when he came to the palace, assembly hall, where they were, he mistook the solid land to be water and water to be solid land. So when he was walking through the solid land, hard land, he lifted his dhoti. And when he went to the water, mistaking that to be solid land, he just got into the pool of water. And Bhima and the women, everyone was laughing. And Yudhishthira Maharaj tried to stop them from laughing. Don't embarrass him. But Krishna allowed them. So, and Duryodhana was extremely embarrassed. So, and he decided, for all these things, all these happenings, he decided to commit suicide. And then the Danavas came from the lower region and told him that, look, you're our main support. Now, if you quit the scene, then what will happen to our plan? So they actually persuaded Duryodhana not to commit suicide. And then, as you know, the scene thickened, and then eventually a game of dice was arranged. Duryodhana was so upset. So Shakuni actually made that plan. Duryodhana's uncle, Gandhari's brother. In one hand, Gandhari is so noble. She was the daughter of Gandhar, which is today's Afghanistan. Kandahar. Today's Kandahar used to be Kandhar before. So that showed the land of India stretched so far. But Shakuni was the evil-minded person, and he was giving all kinds of wrong advice to Duryodhana. And so it was arranged that a game of dice would be, and Yudhishthira Maharaj would be invited to a game of dice. And although Yudhishthira Maharaj is not so good at playing dice, but he is very fond of playing dice. So, and also a Kshatriya, when he is invited to a game of dice and a battle, he cannot refuse. And so in the game of dice there was stakes, and the stakes continued. And Yudhishthira Maharaj started to lose. And as he was losing, his intensity to play the game became even more. And he started to lose. First, the stake was wealth, gold, or such things. And then he started to lose. And finally, he lost his whole kingdom. Still he wouldn't give up. When he was challenged, come, stake something. So he, one after another, he lost his own brothers. Nakul, Sahadev first, Nakul, Arjuna, Bhim. Then he staked himself. Then Duryodhana actually enticed him. You still have something. What about Draupadi? Stake Draupadi. So in this way he lost everything. And when he lost Draupadi, Draupadi was brought to the assembly by Dushashan. And Duryodhana indicated to strip her naked. So you know that incident. When Dushashan was pulling Draupadi's sari, Krishna kept on supplying. Krishna kept on dressing her continuously. And Dushashan became completely exhausted. And they also could see Krishna's inconceivable potency. And at that time another game was arranged. And that game was that 12 years exile and 1 year incognito. And within that 1 year period of incognito, if any one of them could be recognized, either of the 5 brothers or Draupadi, then they would repeat that time. So this way Duryodhana was convinced that Pandavas were so famous that they won't be able to hide. So one of them will be recognized. Bhima's power, Draupadi's beauty, Arjuna's valor, and so they were convinced that within 1 year time they'll be recognized again, and then the term will repeat, another 12 years of exile and 1 year incognito. So then for 12 years they had to go to the forest, and 1 year incognito they stayed in the palace of King Virat. And they were hiding in some amazing way. Yudhishthira Maharaj became the companion of King Virat. And his expertise was playing dice. So Yudhishthira Maharaj was famous for his frailty in playing dice, but now he's an expert dice player. Bhima became the cook. Arjuna, during their incognito period, exile, Arjuna went to the heavenly planet. And there he was cursed by Urvashi that he will lose his manhood. He'll become a eunuch. So Arjuna selected this time to remain as a eunuch. And so he became a eunuch. And Draupadi became the hairdresser of the queen. Shoidendri. And then what happened in the meantime, Bhima killed Kichak, King Virat's general. He was very powerful. And he made some unpleasant approach to Draupadi. And Draupadi pushed him. So you can see, like, he was a general so powerful and famous for his prowess and so strong. But Draupadi pushed him so hard that he fell on the ground. So you can see how powerful these Kshatriya ladies also used to be. And then Draupadi ran into the king's court. And there Kichak came and in public kicked Draupadi. And so somehow they had controlled themselves. Especially Yudhishthira Maharaj was there at that time in the court. So Draupadi, being insulted in this way, told Bhima. So Bhima said, okay, you do one thing. You propose to him to meet you in auditorium, a newly built auditorium. And when he would come there, I will take care of him. So Draupadi, already Kichak was attracted to Draupadi, and when he got the proposal, please come, he got really excited. Came there at night, and he saw that someone was sleeping, lying on a bed. So when he approached, that person turned out to be Bhima. And Bhima beat him up so bad because all these 12 years of pent-up anger was let out on Kichak. So much so that Kichak's body turned into just a lump of flesh. There was no sign of that person. He was completely beaten to the pulp. And so anyway, this is how Kichak was killed. The news spread, and Virat's enemy was Trigarta, the king of Trigarta. So they thought that now that Kichak is dead, Virat will become considerably weak, so this is the time to attack him. So Trigartas attacked Virat's kingdom, and so at that time Virat was in complete anxiety. How to fight? My general is gone. And then Yudhishthira assured him, don't worry, I'll fight with you. Fight for you. Then he said that, your cook also had some expertise in fighting, so he can also come. Then your Goshala keeper also has some experience, and also is your stable man. That was Nakul and Sahadeva. So they, four of them supported. And so Duryodhana at that time took advantage that now that they are fighting in that end, that corner, let us attack Virat and steal his cows, because Virat had an amazing collection of cows. So all the soldiers, all the male members are away. So Duryodhana and Kauravas actually attacked. And so only person there was Virat's son. And he was just a young boy. So he started to brag. If I only had a good chariot driver, then I would have taught a lesson to the Pandavas. And so at that time, our Draupadi Swaidendri, who was the queen's attendant, she said, you know, that Brihannala, the dance teacher of your daughter, once rode the chariot of Arjuna. So he has, although he is a eunuch, but he has some experience in riding a chariot. So then they asked, and he said, yes, I can drive a chariot. So he was driving the chariot. Drupad's, Virat's son was there as if he is ready to fight. But when he came close to the enemy side, it looked like an ocean of soldiers. The opposite side was such a huge army. So he jumped out of the chariot and started to run. So Arjun ran after him and caught him. Said, look, you drive the chariot, I will fight. And then Arjun, when he actually kept his weapons tied up in a tree, large tree, so he collected those weapons and he came facing the entire Kaurava army. And he shoot an arrow that fell at Bhishma's feet and another arrow at Drona's feet. That was his way of offering obeisances to them. And then he shoot an arrow that put all of them into sleep. And Virat's anyway, so this is how they defeated. And not only that, they took away their ornaments, took away their fancy clothes to dress the toys. So then when they came back to senses, they realized that this must be Arjuna. And Duryodhana was delighted. Oh, so I caught them. So now they'll have to repeat the turn. So Bhishma, after calculating, he said, bad luck, Duryodhana. Because that 1 year just ended. But Duryodhana didn't want to accept that. So he was adamant that no, we are not going to give the kingdom back. and he just made the adamant proposal that they have to fight and win their kingdom. And because he was so convinced that his power is, he is so much stronger, and Pandavas for 13 years they had been away. So they don't have any army, they don't have any power. So it will be very easy to defeat them. So that's why he was adamant in fighting. So and everyone advised him, no, give their kingdom back. They have fulfilled that condition. For 13 years, they had been away. So now that they have come back, give their kingdom back. But Duryodhana was adamant, no. Without a battle, I'm not going to give them the kingdom back. So many, Bhishma, Dronacharya, Vidura, they all advised, but he wouldn't listen. Gandhari, Vasdev, Maitreya Rishi, they all came and advised. But then finally, Krishna came with a proposal that you don't have to give them the kingdom back. Just give them 5 villages and avoid this fratricidal war. But Duryodhana's reply was, without a battle, I'm not going to give a piece of land the size of the tip of a needle. And not only that, when Krishna came with the proposal, he came alone to the Kaurava assembly. Only Satyaki was there driving the chariot. So Duryodhana thought that Pandava's main strength is Krishna. So if we can arrest him, then Pandavas will become weak. So let's take advantage of this opportunity and arrest him. So they tried to, his soldiers surrounded Krishna and wanted to arrest him. But at that time, Krishna showed his universal form. So this is another occasion when Krishna actually showed his universal form. And Duryodhana and his people becoming afraid, they just ran away from there. So in this way, the battle became inevitable. And also, as you know, like how Krishna actually sided with the Pandavas. They were actually collecting their allies. Duryodhana went to Krishna, thinking that he would get Krishna. He already got another person, that was Shalva. Shalva was actually Madri's brother, their uncle, Pandava's uncle. And he was a great charioteer, chariot driver. So Karna actually told that, you see, if Krishna is his chariot driver, Arjuna's chariot driver, in order to match that, I also need an expert charioteer. And who can match Krishna as a charioteer? Shalva. So now Shalva is their uncle. So Duryodhana was so crafty. When Shalva was coming to join the Pandavas in the battle, Duryodhana kept his men on the way and they received him and treated him very nicely. And Shalva thought that this was Pandava's men. And he kind of gave his word that yes, I'll fight with you and all that for you. And then it turned out that he already promised to, this promise went to Duryodhana. So these Kshatriyas were so noble that they won't alter their statements. So this is how Duryodhana tricked him in his side. So this is how Duryodhana was trying to get, although he was so powerful, but he was still trying to gather his strength. And so he went to Krishna to propose to him. And he also had a similar kind of thing. If Krishna somehow, he goes to Krishna first, then Krishna will ask him and he will commit to join them, and then this way he will be, Pandavas will be bereft of Krishna's support. So Duryodhana went to meet Krishna. And after a while, Arjuna also came. And at that time Krishna was sleeping. So Duryodhana came and sat at his head on a chair near his head. And when Arjuna came, he sat on the bed at Krishna's feet. And so when Krishna woke up, he saw Arjuna. He said, Arjuna, when did you come? So Duryodhana just jumped up. I came before. So I have the right to ask first. Krishna said, look, I saw him first. So anyway, like there is a condition. Since both of you came, like I have to satisfy both of you, or at least make some proposal to both of you. So one proposal is that I can join, whoever side I'll join, I'll simply, I won't touch any weapon, but I'll simply drive his chariot. I'll become a chariot driver, I won't fight. And on the other side will be my entire army. My army. I won't fight, but I will be with them. And the other side will have my entire army. So since Arjuna is younger, he'll have the first choice. So, Arjuna, who do you want? What do you want? Arjuna said, Krishna, I want you. Whether you take a weapon or not, I want you. And Duryodhana was delighted. What a fool. It's just, Krishna is not going to fight, so what's the use of it? So this is the difference between the spiritual vision and material vision. Material vision sees things from a material perspective, numbers, strength and all that. But the spiritual vision is Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Krishna, to have Krishna on the side means winning the battle. And this way both of them were satisfied. Then Duryodhana went to Balaram and appealed to him to side with him. But Balaram said, no, I'm not going to side with anyone. And that's why Balaram actually went on a pilgrimage during the battle of Kurukshetra. So in a way that is the background of the battle of Kurukshetra. Then finally both the sides assembled. Kaurava side was 11 Akshohini, Pandava side 7 Akshohini. So much weaker. And Kaurava side had such valiant and invincible warriors. Bhishma, he is practically immortal. Unless he himself wanted to die, nobody would be able to kill him. And not only that, he was one of the best warriors of that time. Dronacharya, another person. As long as he has a weapon in his hand, nobody can kill him. Then Ashwatthama, another immortal person. Then Karna, the greatest archer of the time. In a way, it is said that Karna was even better than Arjuna in archery. So, their number was greater. The warriors on their side was extremely valiant. Whereas the Pandava side, 5 brothers came back from 13 years of exile. Only some friends of theirs and relatives joined with them, like Drupad, Virat. And now the battle is about to start. So, and the conch shell was already blown. That means the battle already started. Blowing the conch shell actually meant the announcement of the commencing of the battle. So at that time, Arjuna wanted to see who is on his enemy, who is on the enemy side. And at that time, Arjuna decided not to fight. How can I fight with my elders, those who brought me up with so much affection? Bhishma, practically on his lap I grew up. Dronacharya, who treated me like his own son. I was so dear to him. And in this way he started to lament. And then he gave various other reasons. That's the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Vishad Jog. Vishad means lamentation. Arjuna's lamentation. How can I fight? Katham Bhishmam aham sankhe. Dronam cha madhusudana. Ishu bhi pratyatsami pujarha varishusana. Pujarha. They're worshipable. How can I shoot arrows? Ishu bhi means arrows. Pratyatsami in a challenging way. Meaning to kill them. To Bhishma and Drona. And then he gave all kinds of excuses, or reasons, not excuses, valid reasons. That when there won't be anyone to protect the society, the women will go astray and there will be Varnashankara. And as a result of Varnashankara, the whole society will be doomed. So Arjuna said, I would rather go begging than enjoy this kingdom that's going to be stained with the blood of my relatives. So, in this way, when Arjuna kept on refusing, but still, finally he expressed his bewilderment. That, Krishna, I'm completely bewildered. Please tell me what I should do. I'm surrendering myself to you as your disciple. Please instruct. Karpanna dosha apahata svabhava. Prichhami tvam dharma sammura cheta. Jatshriya shan nishchitam bruhitan me. Shishyasteham sadhimam dhamma. Shishyasteham, I am your disciple. I am submitting myself as your disciple. And at that time Krishna started to advise. So, that advice of Bhagavad Gita starting from the second chapter. In the second chapter, Krishna started to. At the beginning, Krishna mildly chastised Arjuna. Mildly. That Arjuna, you're speaking like a wise man, but you're a fool. He didn't say you're a fool. He says the wise man doesn't speak like that. Indirectly, that Ashochan Anushochastam Praggavadangscha bhashase Gatasuna Gatasungscha Nanu Sochanti Pandita. Pandita, wise ones. Those who are wise, they don't lament about these temporary things. This body is perishable. Everybody's body will die. Today or tomorrow, sooner or later, everyone is going to die. So why lament over the body? Body is lost. So in this way, Krishna, the first thing Krishna establishes is the difference between the body and the soul. And then Krishna, after establishing what is the behavior of a wise man, a person situated in knowledge, then he explains in the third chapter about the arrangement. Living entities, human beings are there, and the demigods are there. The demigods are controlling the affairs of this material nature. Therefore, human beings should have proper relationship with the demigods, like the supplier and the recipient. So here he is establishing the consideration of paying for what we are receiving. Who is supplying? The demigods are supplying. So whatever you're getting, we're getting from the demigods. Therefore, the demigods should be given in yajna. I'm trying to remember this verse. Saha yajna praja srishta puravacha prajapati prashabitthasham anena jo asti astu kamadhuk. Kamadhuk, our desired objects, are supplied by them, and therefore we should offer them in yajna, sacrifice, because that's the price. In our day-to-day life also we receive various facilities, like we are getting the electric supply. Does it come free? For that we have to pay the price. We are getting water supply, we have to pay the price. So similarly, in this nature we are getting all kinds of facilities. We are getting rain in the form of water, or we are getting water in the form of rain. We are getting sunlight, we are getting all these facilities. And they are coming from the demigods, therefore they should be offered in yajna. And then this third chapter is actually karma yoga. Like action, the proper action, as a result of our receiving things and expressing our gratitude. Then in the beginning of the fourth chapter, Krishna is telling Arjuna, Arjun, this knowledge I gave first to Vivashwan. Then Vivashwan gave it to his son Manu. Then Manu gave it to his son Ikshaku. And in this way, in a line of disciplic succession of the kings, saintly kings, Rajarshi, Imam Rajarsha Yogita, this knowledge was flowing since time immemorial. But Sakaleneha Mahata Yoga Nashta Parantapa. But in course of time, this yoga has been spoiled. Yoga Nashta Parantapa. Therefore, Saevayang Mayate Adda Yoga Pratyapuratana. That yoga which was lost, which was spoiled, I am going to re-establish that yoga through you. Because Bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasami vatavuttam. Because you are my devotee bhakta and you are my friend. Therefore I will reveal this knowledge unto you. So then Arjuna came up with a natural inquiry, natural question. Hare Arjuna, Hare Krishna, kya kar rahe ho? They're friends of the same age, they're cousins. And all of a sudden your cousin tells you, I gave this knowledge to Vivashwan. So what will be a natural reaction? Hare, you were born just the other day, what are you talking about? And that same thing Arjun also same way Arjun also responded. Aparam bhavato janma param janma vivasata. You were born just the other day, but Vivashwan was born so many millions and zillions of years ago. Kathametat bijaniyam tamado praptavaniti. How can I understand that you spoke that knowledge to Vivashwan? See how systematically the knowledge, this principle is being established. Then Krishna's response is, Bahuni me betitani janmani tavacharjuna. Arjun, many, many times you have taken birth. So did I. But tani aham veda sarvani. About all those births, I remember everything. Nattam veda parantam. But you don't remember anything. So that's the difference. So this is how Krishna is establishing the difference between Arjuna and him. Between a living entity and he as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in this way, Krishna's instruction begins. And then he is saying that many times you have taken birth, so did I. So we can see just at the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, the principle of reincarnation is being established. Like that's why anybody can see with common sense that we have been here before. It's not that this life is the only life. And once we solve this problem, then a lot of things becomes cleared out. Krishna already in 2nd chapter established the nature of the soul and the nature of the body. The body is like a dress. Jirnani vasangsi jatha vihaya navani grinnati naro parani. Just as by getting rid of our old clothes, old dress, we put on a new one. Similarly, when this body becomes old, jirnani tatha jirnani sharirani vihaya. When this body becomes old, giving up this old body, we take up a new one. Navani grinnati naro parani. A simple consideration. The body and Arjuna is the Krishna established. See, the body changes from childhood to boyhood to youth to old age. The body is changing. So in spite of the change of the body, the person remains the same. And the 5-year-old body and 25-year-old body are not the same body. Looks completely different, the structure is completely different. Even every single cell of the body is different. But the person remains the same. In that respect, I remember somebody once challenging, and one of my devotees came up with a brilliant answer. He was saying that no, I am a different person. 5-year-old me and today's me are different. Like, his point is that as the body changed, I also changed. The devotee came up with a brilliant answer. He said, why don't you ask your wife whether she got married to a different person? So, with the change of the body, you also changed. So then the person that she got married to was another person. Does the mother say, oh, my 5-year-old boy is different from today's boy who is 25 years old? Or is it the same person? Same person, same son of the mother, same son of the father, same husband of the wife. And so this is how Krishna established the eternity of the soul. The body changes, but soul doesn't change. And this is the most important thing for everyone to understand. Understand the difference between the body and the soul. The body is changing, body is born, body is going to die, but the soul remains. What is death? It's just, actually in India, I think everybody has that understanding very clear. I don't know how they think in the West. But in India, when somebody dies, in so many different ways, we say that he is gone. Chale gaye. Sharir chhod ke chale gaye. To kaun chale gaye? Sharir chhod ke, leaving the body, he is gone. He is gone. That has been established by Jamraj in a very beautiful way. There was a king, and he died in a battle. So his dead body was brought to the palace, and his queen were crying and crying. So Jamraj was feeling bad to he came and he assumed the form of a little boy. And he came to the queen and asked, why are you crying like this? He said, our husband died. Died? What does it mean? That he left and he'll never come back. He said, but he's there. Can't you see that he's there? Why did you say he's gone? No, he is gone. And he'll never come back. Did you ever see him? Then it occurred to the queen. We only knew the body, we didn't know the person. The person that is gone, we never really get to know him. The person they were telling that the one who is to talk with us, the one who is to reciprocate with us, he is gone. So who was that? The body is lying there. No, he, the one who used to do that is gone. So who is that he? Did you know him? So with common sense we can understand that beyond this body there is a soul that makes the body alive. That makes the body speak, that makes the body hear, that makes the body reciprocate in various ways. So at the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is establishing that, the difference between the body and the soul. And then he is now, in the 4th chapter, he is establishing the difference between the soul and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We can see very clearly that those who claim, time and time again I'm coming back to this point because it has become quite a common practice in India to present somebody as God or present oneself as God. We can see that those people didn't even read Bhagavad Gita. Or even if they read, they didn't understand Bhagavad Gita. The extent of their understanding of Bhagavad Gita is karmanne badhikariste ma phaleshi kadachana. You work like a donkey and don't worry about the result. Give the results to me. That is their thing. These are political people make this slogan. You work, don't worry about the result. But they don't understand who the result is meant for. The result is meant for Krishna. What is actually saying that you try your best to serve him, accept everything, offer everything as a service and don't expect anything because he will reward you in the most wonderful way. This is how we can see that although Bhagavad Gita is there so wonderfully presented by Krishna, but unfortunately most of the Hindus are not taking advantage of that. There is plenty of translation of Bhagavad Gita, plenty of Bhagavad Gita in market, but not a single devotee is generated from that. I remember in 1976, I was a new devotee at that time, but we took a statistics of English Bhagavad Gita in the market and we found more than 250 Bhagavad Gitas. There are more than 250 Bhagavad Gita translations in English. But not all these Bhagavad Gitas put together didn't make a single devotee. Whereas Prabhupada's one Bhagavad Gita as it is making millions of devotees all over the world. And who knows how many devotees this book will make. As the time is passing, more and more people are becoming devotees. So that is the potency of Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita as it is. What is the meaning of as it is? Prabhupada explained the way Krishna spoke and the way Arjuna understood. That is the meaning of Bhagavad Gita as it is. Anyway, so I'll wind it up now. It's already past 9 o'clock. This part of it. So in Bhagavad Gita, what we are actually learning, in essence, the difference between the body and the soul, and the difference between the soul and the Supreme Soul. An analogy for that is the sun and the rays of the sun. The sun, if we consider Krishna to be like the sun, then the innumerable rays that are coming from the sun are the living entities. Sun has its own identity and the rays have their own identity. Qualitatively, the sun and the rays are the same. But the rays are minute and the sun is complete. So that is the understanding, that's the difference between the living Jiva and Bhagavan. And jivas are spiritual, Bhagavan is spiritual. Only difference is jivas are minute, Bhagavan is absolute. Thank you all very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Have a nice breakfast.